I would like to start out by offering an apology. For those of you who watch a lot of my videos, yes, this is another Mercury Dime video. I've done a few of them in the past, and guess what? Here comes another one. Now, I've gone on in the past about how I like Mercury Dimes for a few reasons, especially versus Roosevelt Dimes. Well, I've been noticing something that's happening quite a bit more often, and that's that when you try to buy dimes, either by the roll, by the bag, or even just say $1 worth or maybe $2 worth, you're paying a premium for the Mercury Dimes. That wasn't always the case. And when it was the case, you didn't see it that often. Now it's the point where you're seeing it quite often. Very often, as a matter of fact. If you kind of doubt it, check some of the larger bullion dealers and check some of your local coin shops. At one point, my local coin shop was actually splitting everything up, and they had the Mercuries in one pile and the Roosevelts in another. Now, personally, when I go look through the dimes at the shop, he just kind of gives me a container of dimes. I pick out the Mercuries, I pay per gram, and I'm done. I always go for the Mercuries. I never get the Roosevelts. Sometimes I'm lucky and there's a Barber mixed in. And the reason is because the Mercury Dimes, well, I see them going the way of the Barber. And by that, I mean that even if they have a little bit less metal composition, they're older, they have a certain history behind them, it's a great design, and in a lot of years, there weren't too many made. On top of that, there were some, great years like 1916D, good years like the 21 and the 21D, and then some semi-keys like, say, the 26S. But the other thing is, if you look at a price guide, even in low grade, like, say, good condition or VG, you see that the dimes that were made, let's say, prior to 31 and before, tend to be worth more than your later ones. So if you're going to buy a lot of Mercury Dimes and you're landing some of these older ones, especially if they're in decent, not even decent, okay condition, you're getting a premium on these dimes. If you go to your local coin shows or coin shops, notice that very often you're seeing premiums. I'm seeing highly circulated teens and to mid-20s Mercury Dimes going for like $4, $5 a piece sometimes. And like I said, these aren't really eye-catching examples. They're basically, let's say, good condition to maybe like, say, good 4 to like VG8, let's say. And they're selling for some pretty good money. So if you have the opportunity to buy Mercury Dimes for the same or very close to the same price as Roosevelt's, go for it. Now, I know, like I said many times before, I know some of you are like just totally, completely metal stackers, and you don't care about numismatics. Some of you are really, really into numismatics, don't really care about metal value. But what I am telling you is, if you're one of the people who's really into the metal value or mainly metal value, still, if you can buy them for the same price, buy them. It will help you down the line because, whether it's you selling them or, a family member down the road sometime, it's really going to pay off to have Mercury Dimes. And like I said, some of the other reasons I like dimes in general is because they're highly divisible. You can pick up just, one for $2 or so. Right now especially, the premiums are pretty fair. The other thing I like about them is that if you have a stack of silver Roosevelt dimes, well, if you pass away, your kid might not know that those really shouldn't go to a coin star. Just picture that pretty silvery sound going through the slot on a coin star. Not good. Whereas Mercury Dimes might cause him or her to pause for a little while and think, wait a minute, is this something that's a little different? So for those reasons, I've always preferred the Mercury Dimes. But right now, as I'm seeing that people are starting to charge more of a premium, or I should say, it's actually been happening for a while, but I'm seeing it more frequently now. It really is the time that if the price is close or maybe even the same, like the situation I'm fortunate to have, always buy the Mercuries, buy as many Mercuries as you can. Don't worry that some of them have a little more wear on them, because even in good condition, showing some wear, they're probably worth more than a BU Franklin. Because I got to tell you, I've tried, like, I sell coins here and there, and I've tried selling, say, BU Franklins. People really don't want them. You really don't get them. Whereas if you have a BU Mercury Dime, sells way better. Actually, if you have kind of a more common 1920s with, like, let's say that's in fine condition, you'll sell it for a lot more than a BU Franklin. Just what I've noticed. Your mileage may vary, but definitely, if you're not looking at the Mercuries, look at them closely, and pick some up. That's what I think. Of course, again, I'm just some guy who just shops a lot, so take that for what it's worth. All right, guys, have a good one.